One of the things that economists had been speculating about when we try and understand why is it that someone says, I'm going to eat only broccoli and turn away from the brownies for all of January. And they find themselves in a room with broccoli and brownies, and they find themselves eating the brownie. And economists always think about that as implying some sort of hidden cost to resisting the brownie. And I think that really goes with kind of what we believe, right? It's just having the brownie there. It's just hard not to eat that brownie. And over the course of the last, I'd say, 5 years, bunches of neurobiological and psychological labs have developed different ways to measure the costs we pay for keeping that brownie in front of us and not eating it. Candice Rao did a beautiful experiment. She's a professor here at NYU, in which she actually invited people to pay to have the brownie taken away. And she found that not only would people pay to have the brownie taken out of the room, but when people were experiencing a lot of stress, elevated cortisol levels, things like that, they'd pay more. And they'd pay more because they knew they were more likely to give in to the cost of keeping that brownie away. And more recently, people have been doing scanning experiments about this, showing where in the brain the costs are represented, developing the ability to predict at an inter-individual level what the cost each of us faces is. And it's quite different. Very experienced dieters not only seem to pay a slightly lower cost for sitting in front of that brownie, but they really know exactly how much that cost is. People who are inexperienced dieters often underestimate how costly it is to sit with that brownie, how hard it's going to be. And if you ask them, how much would you pay me to take it away? They often give you erratic numbers that aren't stable and that don't work terribly well for them. So I think that we've learned a lot about where in the brain these costs of, I got to not have any, I'm having a dry January and everyone in the room is having a drink. What's the cost of saying no under those conditions? How good are you at paying those costs? How good are you at paying others to mitigate those costs? And we know that people can become expert at that and that some people are better at it than others.